Well, crypto markets are red again. Surprise. Why is everyone freaking out? Jobs, of course. Of course it is. US macro crap again, dragging down markets, freaking everyone the frick out. We got that story for you. We got some Bitcoin charts. We got some altcoin news and all kinds of fun times. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. Of course, answering your questions second half of the stream. So stick around for those good times. Let's go. So, first and foremost, not the price of Bitcoin. First and foremost, the unemployment data. This is from Anna. She's a chief U.S. economist over at Bloomberg. So, a short thread about a curious observation from unemployment forecast ahead of tomorrow's make or break jobs report. Of the 69 submissions to Bloomberg's survey for August unemployment forecast, the overwhelming majority, 70%, expected to fall from July's 4.3%. If it falls, good for markets. Markets are going to love that, okay? If it falls. And we got some perspective on the current unemployment rate anyway that I want to share with you in just a second, because I think it's really important to position ourselves where we are right now. Anyway, the realized unemployment values for each monthly payroll report from April to July 2024 have come in above the mean Bloomberg forecasters' expectation by 1.2, 1.75, 1.4, and 4 standard deviation points in April, May, June, and July, respectively, on average and under a bell curve that is above 94% of forecasters. If you take the mean deviations in the past 4 months, it suggests the mean unemployment forecast may be downward biased by 9 basis points with a 0.05 SD. Assuming this as the true distribution, the probability that the unemployment rate would fall from July is only 10%. Under this assumption, it suggests that 72% of forecasters are betting on a 10% outcome. Under this true distribution, then the mean forecast would be 4.31%, with one standard deviation around 4.26% and 4.36%. Rounded off, that means 4.3% to 4.4% is likely. Our forecast is 4.34%. Now, I got to keep this very clear. If we come in at 4.3%, which was the unemployment rate from last month, I mean, come on. The big fear has been, it's steepening. We're going to go to terrible places and have terrible things happen to us because we're going to see this giant spike in unemployment, which could still come, but has not come yet. If it is 4.3%, markets are probably not going to care all that much to go business as usual. It's all good. If we do drop to 4.2%, oh boy, markets are going to get real excited, especially going to that rate cut. It'll be saying, see, unemployment's actually not that bad. U.S. labor markets are good. Inflation's down. Rate cuts are coming. Boom times, baby. 4.4%. I feel like 4.4% is not that drastic of an escalation. It'll still put that sort of vibe in the air that, oh gosh, unemployment's going up. Next month's going to be the month, and we have this giant acceleration. We go from 4.4 to 5%, and all Armageddon's going to be let loose, and the hounds of hell will come out and chew everybody up and all that kind of scary stuff. Maybe, but 4.4%, not that scary. If it's 4.3, a wash and potentially bullish, because markets will say, well, things are okay. We want to see 4.2, which a lot of forecasters are speculating could be the case. Whether or not it is, hard to say. Jessica Cohen here sharing a summary of the U.S. August jobs reports. The U.S. economy added a lower than expected 99,000 jobs in August, missing the forecast for a gain of 122,000. So still adding a lot of jobs, just not as many jobs as expected. This is the lowest monthly total since September 2023. So lowest total in a year. Again, all this stuff gets over dramatized in the short term, right? It's actually not that bad, right? You can say it's the lowest in a year, but also like, it's 100,000 jobs. It's not that bad. That follows a down revision for July, which added 111,000 jobs compared to the previously reported increase of 122,000 jobs. This is a downward revision of 11,000 jobs. Key takeaway, the weak payrolls report adds to evidence of a slowing labor market. Calls for a 50 basis point rate cut later this month will grow stronger as cracks begin to emerge in the economy. Exactly. Jay Powell's got to act. Okay? Lamp Sprite. Lark reading essays for us. Well, when they're good essays, I read them. I like, a lot of other very clever people out here saying clever things, and I like to share some of the things they're saying. Here's an interesting one from Chris over at Texas West Capital. He says, this would hurt the feelings of a lot of people. Talking about those who've been clamoring for a recession for the last 2 years. For those new to employment numbers, historically, 5% unemployment, a range of 4 to 6%, has been considered full employment. We've just come off of record low unemployment, okay? Okay. I know you can read the media right now. You think we are, going off a cliff right now. We tend to have this fear amplified. September is usually a bad month anyway. Okay, sure. But it's interesting to think that 5% is usually considered full employment, and everything's actually usually okay in a 5% unemployment situation. So there you go. We're at 4.3% now. If we go to 4.4%, well within range. Well within range. This is a response to Joe here. This is the Fed's June summary of economic projections. They expect the unemployment rate to rise through the end of the year and then turn back down, but stay in a range of 3.8 to 4.3% all the way through 2026. Not bad, right? Not bad. And even if we rise up to 5% by the end of the year, it's not the end of the world. Again, we've come off of historically low unemployment rates, 5% historically normal unemployment. If we're okay, we've got like 10, 12%. Yeah, that's really, really bad, right? Obviously. But we're so far away from that. And I know the bears are out there are going to say, but the trend's going up. Yeah, the trend can go up a little bit and we could still be well within normal levels. Okay. So there's that to consider. Lawrence here saying, can you say 50 basis points in response to James Lavish's point here with this morning's JOLTS data showing that job openings are falling well below estimates and layoffs increasing. Futures show a 47% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut in September, up from just 37% yesterday. And bad news is once again good news for the markets. Interesting. S&P 500 right now sitting at the 50-day EMA. Why do you keep on saying all is fine when nothing is? Well, I mean, first off, I'm not saying everything is fine. There are problems, right? And if we see a big increase in unemployment, if we start seeing that curve steepen a lot, yeah, that's a big problem, obviously, right? I think that the market is overemphasizing very small movements in the unemployment rate right now on the fear that we're going to see a huge increase in the near future, right? And we talk all the time about the potential for recession, the yield curve inverting, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not saying everything's fine. I'm saying there's a lot of things out there that we have to keep notice of. I'm trying to share the stories, both sides of the story here. Yes, these things are causing a lot of concern in the market. How valid are they? How much will the market pay attention to them? And to say that nothing is fine is also inaccurate, because actually a lot of things are fine. It's so easy to get so obsessed with financial markets and you're looking at, oh my gosh, nothing's okay. Beautiful world out there, guys. Beautiful sunny day. Well, here anyway. Maybe it's raining where rain's beautiful too. Life's beautiful, okay? Good vibes, guys. Life's beautiful. A lot of things are okay. Chances are more things are okay in your life than you even realize. Yeah, markets kind of suck right now. Whatever. They've sucked for years. What are you going to do? Anyway, continuing. Seth here has got some interesting data to share. He says, I may not be a smart man, but I know what a strong economy looks like via rail traffic reports. Look at this. Rail traffic, again, doing really good, right? Total traffic up 8.4% for cars. That's rail cars. But that's very interesting, right? So there's a lot of rail traffic going on, meaning AKA business is happening. It's a $20 trillion economy unleveraged. It will always have pockets of strength and weakness. It will not turn on a dime. It will ebb and flow, as unlikely to just ease into a recession like an old man eases into a warm bath. Ryan Dietrich sharing, we've been in the camp for a while now that we would see higher productivity in the U.S., and this would be a game changer. Higher productivity allows for higher wages, but keeps a cap on inflation. Excellent thread on today's data from this cat here. Productivity growth for Q2 revised up 2.5% from 2.3% prior. Unit labor costs revised to 0.4%, 0.8% prior. A big upward shift. Productivity growth. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Productivity's up, right? Again, there's a lot of things that are not looking great in the economy. There's a lot of things, all the yield curves uninverting, all that stuff. I get it. I know I'm watching that stuff too. It also makes me a bit paranoid, okay? I'm with you. Crypto Dad says, Lark Davis, what would happen if they cut 2% in September? It's not going to happen, one. But if there was a 2% cut in September, I think markets would probably panic in a massive way because it would show that something is extremely broken and the Fed's probably not telling us. Smart money will not buy before 42K. Why should you? Actually, there's plenty of buyers out there right now. I've seen multiple reports on big whales adding significant amounts of Bitcoin at these current prices. Smart money may buy at 42 and maybe we go down to 42K, and that's not out of the books. We'll talk about the charts here in a minute. But that smart money is currently sidelined. If they're waiting to buy 42K, they may or may not get it. If the jobs data comes in, the unemployment numbers come in tomorrow, and they're 4.3 or 4.2%, that 42K number is going to seem a long way away. If we get 4.4 or 4.5% or something like that, yeah, maybe we hit that by the end of September. Right? It's always a gamble in markets. It's always a speculation. Will you be right? Will you be wrong? Morgan Stanley, in the post-COVID period through the inflation spike, U.S. consumer net worth has grown 8.5% year over year for the past 3 years. Lower income deciles have seen their wages grow the fastest over the same period. It's so good, we just can't believe it, and we'll latch on to any negative story about the lower wage demographic to satisfy our skeptics' itch. It's interesting, isn't it? U.S. consumer net worth has grown 8.5% year over year for the past 3 years. But the consumer's hurting so bad. The economy, man. The economy. U.S. services PMI via S&P Global rises to the best level in almost 30 months. I did mention that the U.S. economy is majority service industry. The economic slowdown heard around the block. That's very interesting. Big rise in services. Best level in almost 30 months. Now, I know what you're going to say, but what about the manufacturing index, Laura? Because we were talking about this yesterday. Manufacturing has been weak, still in fine levels, but trending in the wrong direction, okay? And that can be problematic. Now, the U.S. is not the biggest manufacturer of stuff in the world. They've outsourced so much of their stuff, but they still make some cars. They still make some bombs and some, I don't know, I guess, election campaign hats and stuff like that. But overall, it's not a major manufacturing economy. In fact, as we can see here, manufacturing as a percent of GDP, 12%. 12%. Okay, worth considering. Ram here with the yield curve disinversion. Does that mean a recession's ahead? Isn't that indicator infallible? This is what we hear all the time, right? And look, I'll be the first to say, betting against a yield curve uninversion is a tough bet to take. Have we just seen so much distortion in financial markets that this time it doesn't mean anything? No idea. Certainly, it puts a lot of worry in the back of my mind in terms of, okay, I still think we're going to see that final leg in the market. When that comes, I think it puts a lot more emphasis on taking a lot more money off the table. If things turn out even better and we pump longer, great, we'll sell more later. But to take more money off the table on whenever we get an eventual turnaround in the markets, because always turn around in the markets at some point. How long? When? That's always the question. But we're still hoping for a very good Q4. October to be good. November, December to both be, all three of those months to be good in the market. Anyway, he goes on to say, correlation is not causation. Mechanical, rules-driven approach is comforting. We can stop thinking and just do whatever the indicator says, but that's a mistake. This is true. It's always a mistake to blindly follow any indicator, okay? At the end of the dot-com era, we had an inverted yield curve. There was a massive Y2K CapEx binge, fiber splurge, and VC binge. The cause was the unwinding of excess investment, a classic sign of a top, along with excess credit. We had a recession in the dot-com era driven by reversals in CapEx spending and an increase in unemployment in tech and telecom. The 2008 crisis was preceded by an inverted yield curve. This episode is marked by a different sort of CapEx boom, this time driven by consumers and residential real estate and fueled by cheap credit and Wall Street's securitization machine. The unwind started with a credit crunch. Where we stand today, we have CapEx growth around AI data centers infrastructure that's funded by cash flow hyperscalers and government spending at wartime deficit levels. That CapEx spend is not stopping. Is there a credit crunch from high rates? Yes, in commercial real estate. Rising Fed funds always break something. It's not tech stocks or the banks as in 2008. This time it's the private markets rather than the public markets. So for everyone is conditioned for the shoe to drop and waiting for long and variable lags when the shoe already dropped. Think about that. The shoe already dropped. Commercial real estate. You keep seeing all these stories about a whole giant commercial real estate building that sold for $200 million 10 years ago. And now it's selling for $20 million, something like We got commercial real estate out here trading like shit coins, guys. We are seeing monumental drops. But does that really affect the average consumer? It's banks and big funds absorbing the losses on this stuff. Today, there's a lot of concern about macro again, and geopolitical risk, and now curve disinversion. And yet, we just wrapped up one of the strongest quarters of earning growth since Q4 2021. Damn you, U.S. economy. Can't you just go into a recession already? Why do you have to keep being so stubborn and not going into a recession? Keep growing. Can't have a recession if the economy keeps growing. Can't have a recession if jobs data is not as terrible as everybody makes it out to be. Rate cuts help consumers and small businesses. They do. They have cold coffee, the best. Got some grounds in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, that last bitch is a little bit crunchy. Love it. Anyway, true. Rate cuts help consumers, right? Mortgages and stuff will become available for people again. The mortgage rates are so high right now, people don't want to buy houses. But as soon as those interest rates start going down, you'll start seeing the property markets for residential real estate ticking up again. Small businesses will be able to hire more people, expand their businesses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? Don't confuse correlation with causation. Maintain perspective. Bull markets are born on pessimism, grow on skepticism, mature on optimism, and die on euphoria. Spencer here saying oil and bonds are the mirror image of one another in 2004. Oil, just like goods prices, deflating probably more on China than on a domestic U.S. story. And that's an interesting thing, too. Everyone's saying the oil. It's showing that the U.S. is about to collapse. What if it's just China? China's got, of course, a giant recession going on right now. Their stock markets are absolutely cooked, but also China is switching over to renewables on a scale that is hard for other countries to really comprehend. They're putting in solar arrays that are just gargantuan in scale, right? They're pushing EVs super hard. World's biggest EV manufacturer, and EVs are all over the streets in China, right? So that can have part to do with it as well. Okay. That's all that stuff. Holy cow, we're already 17 minutes in. Gosh darn, all this macro stuff. I thought that would take like 5 minutes. It did not, but it's important. We got to talk about this stuff, guys. I know. We talk about the crypto coins, Lark. What is all this bullshit? I know, guys. I know. Anyway, let's continue. This is hilarious. This is just for the lulz, okay? This old guy here, he's the Bitcoin to zero guy. Who made Bitcoin? Putin. It was Potes. The Pooty Potes. He did it, man. That's hilarious. Where do these guys get this stuff from? Right now, the price of Bitcoin, 56,000 and some change. Not looking terrible. However, you have to keep in the simple fact that we are in a downtrend, okay? We are in a downtrend. Keep putting in those lower peaks, lower valleys, okay? It's that simple. A lot of people calling for much lower numbers, especially if the jobs data comes in bad. Maybe we see a retest of this key area down here around 52K. Now, if we lose 52K, there's a whole lot of empty air between there and that 44K level, which everybody keeps calling for. Do the bears get their wish? Will we go to 44K? Everyone keeps talking about it, which makes me think maybe it becomes less likely that it's going to happen, especially if we get positive jobs data. But why I just spent 15 minutes talking macro with you guys is because it's what's driving the markets right now. People are not going to take heavy risk on attitudes and jump into magic internet money and dog coins and all this other bullshit if they're terrified that markets are about to collapse. Because guess what's going to go down the first and hardest? It's going to be the crypto coins, right? We even have a bit of panic, we could say, coming in from the Bitcoin ETFs. Not bad yet. I mean, look, BlackRock's generally holding pretty strong. We did have one outflow day the other day for BlackRock, but overall, BlackRock's holding pretty strong. A big out day for Fidelity. You've had two giant $150 million days out for Fidelity. Bitwise seeing a big outflow as well. So some big numbers moving around here. Big outflow days for Bitcoin, which of course puts more pressure on the price because then you get hundreds of millions of dollars sold in. Plus you get the narrative that, well, look, the ETFs are selling, so it's time to run away. BlackRock's not selling, are they? Who are you going to put money on? If you're a betting man and somebody said, hey, would you like to bet against BlackRock? Are you going to take that bet? Is that the bet you're going to take? We all bet against BlackRock. No, you don't bet against BlackRock. Coin Mama here saying people say each chart looks bad, but I'm more worried about Bitcoin. To be honest, nothing but air until 43K. Again, very, very common theme we're hearing right now online. The fear definitely very high in the markets at the moment. Mr. Crypto saying worst case scenario, Bitcoin hits the Gaussian channel. Gaussian channel. Final leg up gets initiated. Still an average 100% move from the hit of the Gaussian upwards. You can see back here in mid-2021 when we had that happen, for example. And if we are in mid-2021 and not going to stick to a standard 4-year cycle, then the next leg up could be, again, a great time to consider taking some damn money out of the market, okay? HedgeX here saying gold leading crypto just like in 2020 and every other liquidity cycle. Very interesting. This is gold, of course, here. Total crypto cap here. Blow off top comes next. Again, next time we see a good leg up the market, time to think about taking some money off the table. You might say, well, but Lark, isn't everybody planning on doing that? No, most people get paralyzed by greed and think it's all going to keep going up forever. Most of the new people who come in when Bitcoin breaks beyond 72K, they're going to buy high and then sell low, okay? If you're here now, if you're listening to this conversation, you're not part of that herd, okay? You're here at a time when you're understanding what's going on and the potential for that final potential rally in the market, the Elliott fifth wave, the blow off top, or however we want to talk about it, okay? A lot of, let's say, confluence that we could have some big moves coming that way. Q4 this year, and that maybe that's going to be the final rally. Maybe it's the too much of a consensus take that we're going to have that be the big rally, but we'll see. Anyway, still have to get through September in order to get to October, as we like to call it. Crypto Amsterdam from the 2015 bottom, it took Bitcoin 833 days to break into new highs. From 2018 bottom, it took 730 days. Our current bottom formed 652 days ago. Interesting. Looking forward to celebrating new highs in Q4 with the 17 of us left on Twitter. On average, Bitcoin peaks 480 days after the halving. We're currently 137 days after the Bitcoin halving. If we don't get a higher peak than 74K, lamest cycle ever, man. Lamest cycle ever. I would say that. Doesn't mean we have to go another year. That put us up with the sort of standard 4-year cycle, which may still be the case, but that doesn't mean that needs to happen. We might get something earlier coming in, right? Donald Trump, I know, guys, before everybody loses their heads and goes, how dare you, Lark? No. We're talking politics and crypto. Crypto has always been political. And if you think crypto is not political, I would like to direct you to the Genesis block of Bitcoin, where Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto put a page of a newspaper in there. A few interesting things on that. Particularly, of course, that the chancellor is bailing out the banks or whatever. Obviously, an important part of that. A few other political things on that page. Not sure if Satoshi had any shout outs to any of those other articles on there. We don't even want to get into, not trigger too many brains here. But crypto's always been, but money's political, guys. Okay? Money's political, crypto's political. And for anybody who say, oh, you shouldn't talk about political stuff in relation to crypto, like, anyway, Trump vows to turn U.S. into a crypto powerhouse. Trump promises to cut 10 regulations for every new one, aiming to make the U.S. a global hub for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin in his next term. And I know what you're going to say. Yeah, we're just going to stay on the campaign trail and nothing's going to really happen. No. I think he's going to do all this stuff because, one, maybe it's the only reason you need to know. Hundreds of millions of dollars from the cryptocurrency community have gone into cryptocurrency PACs supporting Donald Trump. You think they don't want policy outcomes on the other end? You think they're not going to demand policy outcomes on the other end? You think they're not going to get delivered those policy outcomes on the other end? It's an easy win for Trump. He said, look, we got brought this industry in. Now America's the leader in this new industry. Great. And all the people who paid money in those campaign contributions, they get what they wanted. Everybody wins. Hey, but Kamala Harris is now accepting crypto donations, so you can send crypto to Coinbase if you'd like to support Kamala Harris's campaign. So we got to give that shout out here as well. And of course, the SEC under Kamala Harris's vice presidency is currently suing Coinbase. Do you appreciate the irony? Because I sure do. Yeah. Currently Trump up in the polls, though, by a shocking amount, actually. Almost 20 points ahead. That's unbelievable at this stage. And we got a debate coming up, which... probably not going to do any particular favors to Harris. Maybe she'll surprise. We shall see. But currently looking like we might get that Trump wind in the sail for the cryptocurrency markets. CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald says the regulatory environment was good, which Trump is promising to do, that all TradFi companies would go headfirst into Bitcoin. There you go. There you go, guys. Tether still buying, MicroStrategy still buying. Okay. Long-term game here, guys. Long-term game. Even if there is a US recession, just stack more. Screw it. Just stack more, man. Play a long game. Crypto will go back up again, even if the worst shit plays out in the next few months, which is not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee, okay? A lot of doom posters are going to tell you that recession's coming tomorrow. New Great Depression's going to be here tomorrow, okay? Total AUM across family offices is 11.4 trillion. I don't know how we ever got this data, but if only 112 million of that goes into Bitcoin ETFs, that's a big, big number. 1.12 billion is 10x more, okay? And that's only 1% at 114 billion. A lot of money out there, guys. A lot of money out there. Always worth keeping that in mind. Okay. We were going to talk about some altcoins. I got some cool altcoin stories here for you guys. But man, we've been going on, haven't we? I think we should probably get into some questions here for you guys. Just real quick, Epic Game Store's got Neon Heroes up on their page now, so that's very exciting. I'm a Neon Heroes investor, by the way. If you're wasting my portfolio disclosures, pre-sale investments, all that kind of stuff, you can find that in the description on YouTube. Pinned comment on X, and of course, investing in crypto is risky. You can lose all your money. Also find a risk statement over there on that page. No, seriously, it is. You can lose all your money. Don't forget about that. You can now pay with crypto over 100 million merchants across Europe because MasterCard's launched a Euro non-custodial crypto debit card. This is the kind of an option news that would have made everybody lose their minds a few years ago. Now it's just like, whatever. Okay, some more stuff happened. We have Pressman Film Production Company behind Wall Street, American Psycho, and The Crow. The Crow. I mean, they're all great movies, aren't they? They all are. I mean, Wall Street, the original, so good. American Psycho, so good. The Crow, great movies. Anyway, they're transforming independent film financing on Avalanche. There you go, guys. Okay, that's your altcoin news. We had a couple other things I want to cover too, but that's enough for today. Let's have some water. Can't rain all the time, man. Great song. Great soundtrack for The Crow, man. Very true about life. Can't rain all the time, man. The sky won't fall forever. Okay, remember that, crypto investors? Wisdom from The Crow. Larky going to Salon at Breakpoint. Yes. Just come and say hi if you're there. Love to see you. Is this normal summer 4 cycle stuff like 2019, or ignoring signs of 2021? I don't know. I wish I had an easy answer for you, man. I really do. Part of me thinks it's kind of like 2019 in the sense we got this early cycle pump. And look, adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin didn't even hit a new high. I know in current dollars we hit a new high, but adjusted for inflation, we didn't. 69K was still the high watermark for the value of dollars it was back then. Yeah. I don't think we're ignoring the signs. I think we're talking about the signs all the time. But for me, there's two very different camps right now. One camp is the camp that only pays attention to the bad data and the US recession stuff, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The other camp is saying, well, actually, there's all this counter data that doesn't agree that a recession is coming imminently and that's going to drag markets down to oblivion. And that at the very least, we get a nice Q4 rally. So food for thought there. I remain an optimist. You know, pessimists are right every so often, and they get to talk about how right they were. But often pessimists are pessimists for far too long and tend to miss out on the best upside. Optimists might be overly optimistic sometimes, but optimists are sexier, guys, at the end of the day. Okay, we're handsomer. It's just science. Just science, okay? USA is cooked if the Democrats win, period. Blame only yourself if you vote for them. Also, don't forget to like all the posts Ukrainians are posting from their vacations and cool cars they buy. Oh my goodness. Look, that's a bit much for the content of this stream, but I would say that a vote for Harris is definitely going to have some, I wouldn't say unintended because that's the intention, but they're going to have some pretty significant economic impacts. I wouldn't expect anything good for the cryptocurrency industry, plus all kinds of tax proposals. What gets passed or not at the end of the day is a different story, but all kinds of tax proposals that are very backward thinking and are probably going to do no favors for the U.S. economy. Lark, do you still believe in an altcoin season? We're praying, man. We're praying. No, I think when Bitcoin breaks beyond 72K, whenever that happens, that's when altcoins really start moving. A vote for hairy chest. Lark, what is a DeFi coin you'd recommend to grab? I'd like to add some night before. Well, I can't tell you what to buy with your money, first and foremost, okay? Some DeFi coins that I own, Jupiter, Aerodrome, Trader Joe, Order, although I haven't claimed and staked it yet, but technically it's out there. I got to claim and stake it. They pay out USDC. So those are all Order's a real yield USDC coin. Trader Joe's a real yield USDC coin. Aerodrome has got massive yield but you have to participate in yield. You don't just buy tokens and sit on the price because you can do that too, but it's a tougher game because there's so much inflation going on. I want to benefit from the inflation as well. Jupiter, very bullish on Jupiter. I know it doesn't have the world's strongest value capture, but they do have staking rewards that are pretty gosh darn good. And if they ever flip on the fee sharing switch, which where Mao said he will do, that's crazy potential. But one that I think a lot of people have been talking about recently, in fact, two of them, which are very interesting, both of them to me, MakerDAO and Aave. If you want to take one of the king of DeFi blue chip kind of stuff, those would be something to go and investigate, okay? Go investigate, read about them, learn about them. Don't just run out and buy some shit because I've mentioned it for 10 seconds on a stream, okay? Those are just, there's your research list, okay? Go research, see if there's anything you like there. If not, whatever. If so, that's up to you to make a decision on it from there on. But I think those are some of my top list interesting stuff right now. There's a lot of DeFi stuff out there. Depends on what you like. Watching paint dry equals watching crypto every day. Yeah, except every once in a while, the paint turns into some like terrifying monster and comes out and like destroys your house and, you know, drinks your last beer and stuff like that. Otherwise, yeah, it's kind of like watching paint chill. Are you a Steelers fan? No. I mean, I suppose I have to be because I'm from Western Pennsylvania, but I never really got into a lot of sports. I like playing sports. I do. I always loved playing basketball. Love playing baseball, actually. Baseball's a lot of fun. Hitting the ball with the bat, man. It's a good time. Hockey. Actually, really liked hockey too. More of a Penguins fan, although I have no idea what's going on. I haven't watched a hockey game on TV in 20 years, probably. I know I should like rugby because I'm in New Zealand, but I don't know. Just don't have a lot of time for it. I like playing sport, right? Actually, one of my goals when we go to Dubai is I want to take up tennis. Okay. Especially with such strong correlations between playing tennis and living an extra 10 years. So try and benefit from that. But anyway, I haven't watched sports in quite a while. Justin says, how do we know not to take money off the table too soon? Justin, here's the thing. You're never going to perfectly time the top. Get it out of your mind that you think you're going to, because you're not. You're not going to perfectly time the top, okay? That's why laddering out becomes a pretty effective strategy. So if you see, for example, Bitcoin up at 100K, altcoins are pumping a lot, just, consider taking some money. You don't have to take everything off the table either. As I've said before, a sort of vague format you could look at for the market cycle, assuming, of course, that we still do get the best days of the market ahead of us and that there's not some U.S. horrible recession tomorrow, blah, 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 all the caveats normally in place. 100K, take a third of the altcoins off the table. 150K, take a third of the altcoins off the table. 215K, if we get that high for Bitcoin, sell the rest of the altcoins. If we don't get that high, we go back down to 150K, start breaking under 150K, get out of the rest of your altcoins, right? You've made money. You've made money because you're not going to perfectly sell the top on this stuff, okay? A lot of people get attached to, like, I've got to sell as close to the top as humanly possible and never take a penny off the table. Hope that answers that for you. Is Cosmos dead? You know, the Atom token, Cosmos ecosystem is very interesting. The Atom token has not managed to get a lot of people very excited, I would say, and it doesn't capture value in the best way. It has got some pretty sweet airdrops and stuff over time, so it's got that going for it. But yeah, because Atom's not required to make transactions across all the different Cosmos ecosystem chains, it hasn't seen massive value accrual that you've had for, like, Ethereum, for example, where we've seen so much value accrue to it because you want to do anything on any layer 2, guess what? You need ETH. I know what you're thinking, Lark. What are you talking about? Have you seen the price of ETH today? I know, but just say more broadly. What kind of car do you drive? Well, we just sold it, so there's that. But a Tesla Model Y was our family car. Maybe I'll buy a toy car one of these days. I don't know. Maybe. Right now, the family car works pretty good. Patrick, do you think Polkadot will reach new all-time highs when this bull run starts? I hope so for my Polkadot bags, man. Jeez. Lark, if you get an extra 1,000 euros, what coin will you buy? Not financial advice, of course. Obviously, Gandalf Green, not financial advice. Look, if it were me today, maybe just some Bitcoin or something, man. I don't know. Maybe leave it in USDC and see what the market does. One of those two things. And that would just be me, obviously, not what you should do with your money. The reason it's hard for me to say, what should I do with this 1,000 euros I got? I have no idea what your portfolio looks like. I have no idea what your risk tolerance is. I have no idea if 1,000 euros is a lot of money for you. If you just lost your job, you're about to lose your job. I don't know. All these things that come into play, right? Maybe you're better off just sitting on that cash for a little while and just waiting to see what happens. Maybe you want to just, exit fiat, go to Bitcoin, sure, fine, whatever. Maybe you're looking to become rich overnight, at which point, the meme coin casino could be a tempting place for you. Not that I'd recommend that. You're probably going to lose that 1,000 euros like that. But hey, maybe a little more exciting than going down and putting money on black at the roulette table, right? All right, better catch up in the chat here. Lark, what do you think about Sand? Sandbox is interesting. It's pretty cool metaverse game. I don't think Sand does much until we see some kind of broader altcoin and gaming hype. I don't think gaming hype will exist without broader altcoin hype, right? Like, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and see, like, okay, all the gaming coins just go to the moon with the current conditions that we're in generally for the market. But when that happens, Sand will probably have a nice bounce back. I mean, it's pretty solid. Their metaverse game looks pretty cool. I have no idea what the user stats and stuff are like right now. Probably not super awesome would be my just general guess based on the way we're seeing sort of general engagement from the broader world in crypto stuff right now. I know meme coin casino is very popular, but in terms of playing like a crypto game like the Sandbox, yeah. Lark, if Bitcoin hits $90,000 to $100,000, where do you see Jupe at? Maybe $5. $5 would be good. I'd be pretty happy selling at $5, man. I remember Lark singing Moon River. Yeah, that coin back in the day, man. Oh my gosh, Cool Cat Coding, you gotta be trolling us. Bitcoin and Ethereum both staying, trade them both for BSV. I hope you're just trolling, man. I do. Look, Bitcoin Satoshi Vision is a dumpster fire. It's not just a normal dumpster fire. It's a dumpster fire filled with like crap. Okay. It's a dumpster full of crap on fire. And it always has been. And Craig writes, he lost his court case, man. He literally had to come out and say on Twitter or something, I am not Satoshi. This has all been a giant fraud or whatever. I'm not sure the exact wording that he used. Don't sue me, Craig Wright. Go read his post, I guess. But yeah, BSV, man. You gotta be trolling, dog. You gotta be trolling. Nobody in the right mind's buying that crap. Anyway, Sand has no users. It's dead. That's unfortunate to hear. It's just hard with these crypto games, man. Hard to keep people around, especially because the prices are so volatile for all this stuff. And I was thinking about that today. It's so unfortunate to see such just crushing volatility across these altcoins, because you get all these cool ideas that are coming out, cool AI ideas, cool gaming ideas, and suddenly these games aren't able to do anything because, well, a lot of their treasuries denominated in their own coins they're hoping to sell at some point in the future to incentivize future growth, and like they go down 99% and you can't really do anything then. So it's tough. Coin Vision, give me 1,000 euros and I'll buy 1,000 euros of Pax Gold. There you go. Gold's the best cryptocurrency. It's like, my gold bag's doing great, man. Wish I'd bought more. Always the case, right? Do you think Jupe will 10x? I still think it can 10x, but it really depends on the broader moves in the market, right? So if Bitcoin only gets to 100K and that's like our cycle peak, Jupe's not going to 10x in that situation. Well, I doubt that it will, right? Maybe it does, but I think $5 becomes more logical. If Bitcoin goes to 150K, Jupe at $10, not surprised. Would not be surprised by that, okay? And if we do go to 200K, which is the 3.618 in the Fibonacci line, then, which I know sounds like a long way away from here. You even thinking like, Lark, what the hell are you talking about, man? Put down the hopium bomb. Stop mainlining that crap, dude. Come on. Bitcoin ain't going to 215. Bitcoin's not going to 150. Bitcoin's not even going to 100K, man. We're going down to zero. Putin coin's going to zero. Yeah. A lot of it's going to depend on the moves of Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads the cycle, right? And when Bitcoin breaks beyond 72K, whenever that happens, the altcoin markets will follow it up. And how high Bitcoin goes will largely dictate how high the altcoin markets can go in that scenario. Craig Wright has appealed. It's not over. My goodness gracious. I actually read a great post on BSV. It was some guy. Can't remember who it was. Some guy. And he said, post was like something like this. And I, maybe he was just trolling out of it. It seemed like a heartfelt post. Something that was actually real. And the guy is basically saying, like, I've escaped the cult of Craig, and I've spent years believing that Craig Wright's really Satoshi Nakamoto and that BSV is the future and the real Bitcoin, all this stuff. And I've just destroyed my own finances, destroyed my own sanity, et cetera, et cetera. And now I'm dealing with the PTSD of having been involved in what is essentially the cult of Craig. Lark, you think it's possible to see October, November, and December as a red month and bull runs? Anything's possible. One thing I've learned about markets is literally anything can happen, okay? We all have these ideas, these models, these theses. We look at this data, and then everybody just freaks the fuck out about some random shit, and down goes the fuck markets. So that happens sometimes too, okay? But my current thesis is that we'll see a strong Q4. How strong remains to be seen, but that we'll see a strong Q4 as long as there's no U.S. recession announced between now and then. Could be wrong. If I'm wrong, well, it was all just numbers on a screen anyway, wasn't it? What are your thoughts on RL USD from Ripple as a stable coin? Do you think we can place to store profits? I'm still just going to use USDC personally. I don't know how much liquidity it's going to have. It's very, very, if they end up making it very, very liquid, and the guys at Ripple have truckloads of money, okay, from selling all of XRP over the years. So I'm sure they got some cash sitting around to make it successful enough, right? Maybe that's their new thing. Okay, let's get RLUSD out there, back with treasury bonds. Look at what Tether's doing. Look how successful that model is. I could see that. Why not? Will it be a good place to store profits? Might be okay. Why not? I don't know enough about it, and their model for backing that and all these things. So it's hard for me to say. Again, I'm a USDC or USDT guy. USDT is fine. So, but I wish them the best in their adventure there. Lark, are you still below? I have not thought about Engine literally in years. Literally in years. I hope they're still doing good things. No shade. No shade on Engine or your bags. I hope your bags do well. But I haven't thought about them in a long time, man. I hope they're doing good. You must be Pennsylvania Dutch like me. Grew up around a lot of Amish, actually. A lot of Amish live around where my dad lives up in Western New York, too. It's always thought it was a very interesting community, the Amish community. Still so isolated in a way from mainstream society. And it's changing, right? It's tough to be Amish in 2024. I mean, imagine just looking out at the rest of the crazy world going on. I mean, imagine they don't even have any Bitcoin, man. You can't have any Bitcoin if you don't have any power in your house, right? Come on, Amish people, get some Bitcoin. Come on. Okay, anyway, what are we doing? 1 inch, do you think that's dead? It's a great DEX, but it doesn't get a lot of FUD. I don't know what kind of FUD it's been getting. 1 inch, I don't know. I got the airdrop years. They did an airdrop. I'm almost certain I got an airdrop from 1 inch back in the day. It's been so long. It was like 21. I'm almost certain I got an airdrop. It was like $1,000 or something back in the day. It's not dead, but I mean, in terms of the coin, I don't know what kind of value the coin actually accrues. I don't know the token model, the tokenomics behind it, how much value it's actually capturing from the platform, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, I've had a lot of competition over the years, a lot more DEX aggregators out there these days, all this kind of stuff. Gold, sell or buy? Well, if I had a lot of extra cash, I'd probably just buy some more just to buy it, even though it's not the best time to be buying gold, but just kind of dollar cost average into gold over time. Hopefully, great Q4, get some nice profits, buy, I don't know, some more ounces of gold. Would be great. Whatever happened to the bull market? It's been missing in action for a while. If anybody finds it, let me know. People are always losing their minds in crypto. They are. Crypto's a crazy market, man. It's the volatility, right? Especially for altcoin bags. Goodness gracious, my altcoin bags are just devastated. It's wild. But when crypto markets bounce back, they'll also be the biggest gainers, the ones that make the most amount of money and all that kind of stuff. But there's a reason why the majority of my portfolio is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. I sleep easier at night. So if you keep your money on USDT, it won't get taxed. Oh, no, you'll get taxed. Pay your taxes, guys, or move to Dubai. Okay, one or the other. You will get taxed just because you sell something on chain and put your profits into USDT. Oh, you will be taxed. You will be taxed. The tax man's getting very savvy. Okay, they're coming for you. They're coming for you. Okay, if you think you're going to get away with continually not paying taxes on your crypto gains, you're probably going to be in for a rude awakening. I know taxes suck. Look at the dumb shit they spend our tax money on. I've often thought if you were to just take blockchain technology, everybody gets a little app on their phone, and once a year, everybody has to come together and they get to decide how to spend the money. Or they get 50 different things they can allocate money to and maybe get some special programs. Like, I don't know, there's people out there who want pay me $50 million to save the great horned owl or some bullshit like that. Would you fund that? Yes or no, right? But you generally decide how things are going to be spent. My guess is that in that situation, you would see a vastly different budget. You wouldn't see 30% or whatever of the budget going towards military spending. You'd see probably 5 or 10% and probably 20% going towards education or something like that. You'd see the numbers vastly different. Anyway, taxes suck, pay them. Because it sucks even more, not paying your taxes and getting audited by the tax man, or worse. Okay, so pay your taxes. Why do you intentionally ignore Hedera? I don't. I just don't think about it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your coin. Okay. Look, man, there are literally hundreds of smart contract blockchains. There's probably 30 or 40 of them in the top 100 coins. I just can't care about all of them at the end of the day. there's quite a few that I keep an eye on that I don't even own. Like I keep an eye on what Cardano's doing, right? I know we throw shade at Cardano sometimes. I'm a fan of Charles, like what they're doing. I hope they succeed massively, okay? I keep an eye on what Polygon's doing, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Hedera, I don't know, just never really sparked my interest enough to like watch what Hedera is doing or even invest in Hedera. So no shade, man. I hope your bags do super well, but I'm not like trying to ignore it. I just don't care. Sorry. Lark, do you hold any Theta? No, I don't. No. Talked to the Theta guys a few years ago. Done some videos on Theta just because it's a popular coin. You guys ask about it a lot. But no, I don't hold any. Will Cardano be the currency of BRICS? If that, no, but if that were to happen, I mean, Charles, holy shit. That's crazy, man. But probably not. I'd be wildly surprised if that was the case. Fed's going to cut the rate by 100% this time. That would be a massive escalation. If they did. Tax man won't help if you sold at a loss. Hey, yeah. Can't tax me if there's no profits, baby. Yeah. Buy low, sell high. Wait, no, wrong way. Buy high, sell low. That's the way, guys. That's the way. Well, we're up to almost an hour. Okay, we're gonna have to get out of here pretty soon, guys. One or two more. Somebody keeps asking about the AI supercoin dealio. I don't have an opinion on that right now. I think we've got it on our short list of coins to review for the newsletter. So when that report comes out, I'll give it a read. We'll have better opinions on it then. I'll do a bit more of a dive into it after Jesse does his deep dive research on it. So I'll keep you updated. Sign up to the newsletter if you're not signed up yet. It's awesome. Lark, do you hold any turbo? No, not even sure I know what that is. Lark, why are the Democrats so against crypto? I don't even understand. I really don't. It's like being against the internet in the 90s. Like, it's dumb. Like, if they're really clever, right? America should be rushing as much as possible to be the #1 crypto country in the world because it's good business sense. You want more tax revenue? Great. Encourage every company in the world to come build their crypto companies in America. You want the US dollar dominance to be extended much farther than it probably deserves credit for? Great. Push US dollar stablecoins. Tether, USDC, RLUSD from Ripple. These should be like promoted by the government. Like, hey, you know what? These companies are great. Let's integrate these. Let's do this. This is going to be part of international trade. We're going to pass regulations for that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Because these guys all come out and buy truckloads of treasuries. Okay. And then that extends dollar dominance in a massive way globally. Instead, they keep cracking down. BRICS currencies coming up. People are buying gold. People, it's problems. But they could do themselves a lot of favors by adopting crypto. I have no idea why they don't push for it more. Will anyone from your team move to Dubai as well, or just your family? So far, just me and my family. But hey, Jesse, come move to Dubai. Let's go. Let's go, man. Be a good time. No, I'm not sure if anyone else from the team has any intention to move to Dubai. Most of the team, they're in the UK. They're in the USA. One of our writers, he's in and out of he's mostly he's doing digital nomad thing. He's in Thailand a lot and around a few other places. Lark, time to hydrate. It is time. It's time to get off the stream, actually. But I'm just seeing if there's any more pressing questions I want to answer. We're having a good time here. Plus, by the way, when they move to Dubai, we're moving on Monday. By the way, next week, probably no streams at all next week. I'll try to record some short news videos for you guys because I'm addicted and I can't stop from making videos. But I'll try to make some short news videos for you guys next week. The week after, I'll be in Singapore. So we shall see. I don't know if I'll be doing streams that week or not. I'll try. It won't be at the regular time, so keep an eye out. I'll try to schedule them an hour or two in advance at least so you guys get notification when the stream's going to be. And then the end of the month will be in Dubai. When we're in Dubai, we will have a new stream time. So I'll try to figure out what the best time for that's going to be, whether that's going to be morning time or evening time Dubai. I'll figure that out, but I'll let you guys know when I figured that out. Anyway, guys, great seeing you as always. See you back next week for more good times. And of course, hopefully we'll see you back for a stream in the not so distant future. For the next few weeks, there may not be any streams, but I'll try to do some streams if I think the internet connection at the hotel is good enough. Anyway, guys, thank you. Love you. See you on the other side. Peace.